Hey guys, Joe Boy here. Hopefully, if all things go according to plan, this theory is going to be really short, but if you watch it afterwards, I believe it'll become really, really popular. So, let's get right into it. I'm just going to let the cat out of the bag here. I think that Wano Kuni has a poneglyph. I think it's actually almost practically, seemingly guaranteed that Wano would have a poneglyph. And I say this for two reasons. There's an intuitive reason, and then there's an actual from the manga panel that I want to analyze. For the intuition part of it, it's that Oden Kozuki and the Kozuki family have been passing down for generations how to both write and read poneglyphs. So then it makes a lot of sense for there to be a poneglyph, right? A poneglyph on that island. I just think that that would make a whole lot of sense intuitively. And going into the actual evidence that exists that supports this theory is we get from chapter 818, I believe, Nekomushi says that, or there's a question asked to him, why are you guys so knowledgeable about the poneglyphs? And then Nekomushi responds with, well, it all goes back to when our master, Lord Oden, took an interest in the poneglyphs, alright? So Oden at some point wasn't that interested in the poneglyphs, and then he took an interest to the poneglyphs. We know that the Kozuki family, all they passed down, they didn't pass down any history, they just passed down the means of reading and writing the ancient glyphs. We also know that the samurai, the people of that island, it's a closed borders place, and you're not allowed to leave, and no one's allowed to come in. Kinemon even tells us that when Oden initially left Wano Kuni to go become a pirate, or whatever he was doing, he left the shores to go sail with pirates, that he opposed this, and he actually didn't initially accompany Oden because of the Wano's policies, and basically it would make him a dissenter to leave the island. So I think it would have taken a very strong motivating factor to get him to want to leave in the first place, given that it's so socially unacceptable in Wano to leave the country, specifically to leave the country to go sail with pirates. And I think this motivating factor was the journey for the poneglyphs. Oden wanted to sail out and find more poneglyphs. But why? What would sort of spark an interest in poneglyphs? I believe a poneglyph being located in Wano for him to read and understand would be a very strong motivating factor to get him to go and search out other poneglyphs. Some might argue that just by being able to read and the ancient kingdoms and write them, that he might want to go discover the true history. But I don't really think that that would be enough. We don't know exactly what was passed down, but we do know that all Oden Kozuki knew how to do was read and write the poneglyphs, or the characters on the poneglyph. Everything else, as far as the importance of it, the relevance of it, I'm not sure if that was passed down. But you can see that from many of the people that are related to the ancient kingdom that might be D's or in some way are protecting the poneglyphs, that they're missing a lot of the relevant information. A lot of them just, they know, oh, well, I need to protect this stone. And I think for the Kozukis, it was, oh, well, we need to learn these characters. And it's not necessarily known why. So for Oden to leave, I believe the strongest reason out there is that there's actually a poneglyph on Wano that he was able to read and inspired him to go out and search out other poneglyphs. And not only do I believe that there will be a poneglyph on Wano, I believe it'll be a road poneglyph. And I say this for really one simple reason. I've done another theory about this, but I'm just going to say it again. There's really only two kinds of poneglyphs that are left that we need to find, that we know of. Road poneglyphs and poneglyph of Uranus. We know that Jinbei is bringing the poneglyph to the Straw Hats. And we know that that's not a road poneglyph if the shading of the poneglyph is indicative of anything. So then Jinbei doesn't have a road poneglyph. Of the two options we have, that leaves Uranus poneglyph for Jinbei. Then we're going to the Wano kingdom. Then there would only be one kind of poneglyph left, the road poneglyph. This obviously doesn't include any possible unforeseen types of poneglyphs that we haven't met yet. Any random ones, like the random one that's on Fishman Island, where it's basically a letter of apology, and not really related to the true history specifically or anything like that. That's possible, but we can't predict it because there's really no clues that led us to believe that. So I would prefer to stick with my guns and say that if there's a Poneglyph on Wano, then right now it is definitely most likely to be a road Poneglyph. So yeah, guys, that's my theory. It's really simple, maybe, but I like it. I haven't seen anyone else talking about that. You correct me if I'm wrong, but I definitely think this will be a popular idea going forward. Also, check out my Guardians of the Road Poneglyph theory. In that theory, I basically state that I think that, for different reasons, that there will be a road Poneglyph on Wano. And so this theory supports that one. And that theory, I believe, is really, really epic, much more epic than this theory is. So go ahead and check that theory out. And yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you think the connections I made are valid, or if they're not. Tell me if you have anything that you want to add. If you like